Hello, buddy. Welcome back to the Tin Man's Core channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and yes, it's late. I got focused on some other stuff, and I figured I'd go ahead and get this video filmed now. I could get it up for you guys during the weekend. But anyway, it's another dream that I had years ago, and I barely remember, but I can pick out a few pieces of it. Basically, I get lost in a hospital. So here we go. In my dream, me, my dad, and mom went to go see one of my grandmas. And I believe it was my mom's mom. So we went to go visit her, and I'd tell you, it seemed like that hospital was packed in my dream because you look out every corner, it seemed like all the hospital rooms were so full that they had patients in the hallways next to the walls. In my head, I was thinking, golly, they couldn't move them to another hospital. Figure out what was wrong with them to where they could get them a room when somebody else is discharged. But anyway, we went to go see my grandma, talk to her for a little bit, and I had to go use the restroom. Here's where everything gets kind of scary and interesting all at the same time. You know how hospitals, they seem scary? It's almost like a maze. You got to figure out which room each person's in. Well, I went to use the restroom outside. That's like the public restroom. And then when I was trying to find my way back, I was like, did I take a left or right? So I ended up going left, and I ended up in the wrong area because that ended up being like cardiology patients. I was like, oh, dang. So I had to get on the elevator and try to retrace my steps, figure out which floor she was on, until finally I got on the right floor, but I was like going around in a circle. I'd be like, where is she at? And she had a room that had like a roommate with her. It was kind of cramped in there. So I kind of just got out of there just to walk around a little bit too. But I kept walking in the hallways that had people just lined up like crazy. It started to become overwhelming. So I finally found an area that had nobody at except the nurse's station. So I just kind of sit down like with my head in my hands, basically. Oh God, what am I gonna do? I lost my way to get back to my parents and my grandma until my mom saw me and she was like, hey honey, over here. Oh, thank God. Once she did that, I was like, okay, gotta get up and go find her. So I did, followed her back. I said, I am so sorry, I got lost and I tried to retrace my steps. I kept going different floors, couldn't remember where we're at. And she said, yeah, it could be hectic too. Plus with a lot of nurses and doctors roaming around and a lot of patients to take care of, it can be disorienting. But I remember that we got done talking to her, we said goodbye, we loved her, and we'll visit her again sometime. Got on the elevator, went down to the main lobby of the hospital, and went to the car, went on home, and I remember it was starting to get dusk. So we went there when it was like evening time, but it was still daylight, and it started getting dark, so I figured we had to be there from like lunch to 6:45, 7 o'clock. Then we got home, I went to sleep, and then I woke up back in reality. I was like, dang. I remember being in the hospital when I broke my arm and going to see relatives that are in there. It can be scary, I tell you. You overcome that fear when you realize these people that are working in hospitals are there to help you to recover and hopefully get you discharged out of there quicker. But anyway, I hope you guys like my dream, and let me know down in the comments if you had dreams of being in the hospital, but you weren't the patient you were visiting, or some other weird thing happened to you. Because that one was kind of crazy, but it won't so bad. This has been another successful installment of the Tin Man's Core channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor. That's a wrap. Have a nice day, buddy.